All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Wednesday night. Summer League edition of the Postgame show because we have nothing else better to do. Knicks taking on the Orlando Magic in Las Vegas, and they finally get a win in overtime. Jalen Martin, the hero of the night, and he gets his team the win in an Elam-style overtime thriller. 82-80 over the Orlando Magic, man. Let's talk about it. Plus, Evan Fournier back on the block. We're going to talk about that. And is Josh Hart on his way to a big payday? Plus, Obi Toppin breaks his silence as a member of the Indiana Pacers. We're going to talk about that. CP the franchise, Mr. Vegas on the ones and twos. Lock in. Let's go. Summer League edition, man. Salute, salute, salute. All right. Al, how you feeling, man? We just had a great show on the NBA Report. Now we're back here on KnicksFanTV. A doubleheader, if you will, in the summertime, man. Who said there is an off-season? There is no off-season for us, man.
No such thing around these parts. For KnicksFanTV, the NBA Report, we keep it moving along here, man. Yep. There is always something to talk about. Yep. Our beloved New York Knicks, or of course the NBA, because the NBA never sleeps. Obviously not, because we got Summer League, man. And look, we got a win finally. It just took us to leave Vegas for them to get a win. You know?
It just took us to leave Vegas, man. I think that's all it was. And, especially you, Mr. Vegas. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
You had yourself quite a week. Have you fully recovered? Have you fully recovered from that?
Getting close, man. I'm getting close.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Came back jet lagged.
Yeah.
A little sick. But hey, take some time to recover from Vegas.
Yeah.
If you know, it's a good time out there.
Yeah.
Good time. Got to hang out with all the NBA players, man. Yeah. Got to go to all the different places. You got the clip running around there. You got all the photos with me, and Obi, me and Hartenstein, me and Jalen Martin. Yeah. Not KFTV Jalen Martin.
Nah, not our guy.
Or I guess the G League Knicks Jalen Martin.
Right. Yeah. Well, see, the thing is that, you're slowly transitioning from a young whippersnapper to an old geezer. So the recovery times get a little bit longer. You got to pick and choose your outings. You got to pick and choose. You can't just be running up and down every single day. It catches up with you. You know what I'm saying? There it is.
Working on 9 hours of sleep. Not something I recommend.
Yeah.
In Vegas.
See?
But hey, it was a busy weekend covering Summer League, and then shout out to my boy Wos and his bachelor party, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot for one weekend.
Yeah. I hear you, man. Well, this is why I paced myself. This is why you did not see me with you on that evening.
I did invite you out. I did invite you out.
Yes. But as I told you on the NBA Report, I was not properly dressed for the occasion. I was a little too fancy for the things that you were getting into. When I throw the Ferragamos on, bro, I gotta be VIP only. I didn't know you was going that route. You told me late. You know what I'm saying? I can't be amongst the common folk and the gamos. You know what I mean? I gotta be in the VIP. Pop some bottles, give me some sparklers. I'll have me a seat, and I'll enjoy the entertainment. You know what I mean?
Look. Yeah. I invited you out. You said, because you are the old geezer, I'm the young whippersnapper over here. Yeah. You said you go to bed by 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
You said you need your beauty rest.
Well, we had a big show at the Blue Wire studio. I had to prepare and make sure that we give the people our best. So I sacrificed.
Yeah, you had a little bit of your tapioca pudding, and you had some Alka-Seltzer before you went to bed, and you were ready for the next day.
No, really what I decided to do is, after a great dinner, the lady had a great dinner, we went back to the blackjack and roulette table. After we got lucky the night before that. I mean, it was an incredible night at Caesar's Palace on Saturday. So we went back, on Friday, rather. So we went back on Saturday to find our luck again. And for her, she did all right. For me, it was a complete bloodbath. Complete bloodbath on a blackjack table. And as I told you, right across from me was Obi watching, to his delight, as I was just losing everything but my shirt in that place. But he was
like, look at that dud gambler over there.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? As soon as I walked through the door, and I said this on IG and I said this on Twitter, because my wife tunes in. She's a big supporter, obviously. Tuned into the show when I sent her the link saying, "Hey, we're in the Blue Wire studio. Check this out." Her and the family put on the TV. And as soon as you called me Mr. Vegas, she could not stop. She is still not stopped calling me Mr. Vegas. As soon as I walked through the door, I was like, "Hey, babe, what's up?" She's like, "How you doing, Mr. Vegas?" I was like, "Okay, this is not ended. We're at this point."
Oh man, I love it, man. I love it. No, it was a great weekend. Action packed. Made a lot of moves. Made a lot of contacts, a lot of connections. Had a great time and saw some good basketball, man. A lot of young talent on the summer league scene. And, a lot of teams with some promising youngsters, from the Pacers to you look at what Hutchefino and the Lakers are doing. You look at Detroit or Rockets, and then we go all the way down to the list of the Knicks. But we did get the win.
Won't be that. I mean, you didn't even play the victory music, which is a little shocking to me.
It's summer league, man. I'm not doing that. First rule of summer league is it's only summer league. We can't get too ahead of ourselves. You know what I mean? These guys are all headed for Westchester or Europe, pretty much. But good thing about Jalen Martin. That was one of the last people I saw in Vegas was Jalen Martin. Nice, humble kid, man. Very nice, humble kid. Very respectable. I told him about the kind words that his former high school coach, Charlie Ward, said about him. Charlie Ward, a friend of the program, left us a nice message about Jalen Martin when it was announced that the Knicks had signed him to a two-way deal. And so he was very appreciative of it. And he gets the win. He gets the win for his team. He's okay. I think he's okay. I like the way he attacks the basket. He does get aggressive when he needs to be. He does pass the ball. He's selfless when he needs to be. When he gets open corner three, he tries to take it. Hasn't been able to knock those down, but I like the way he attacks the basket, though. Pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's the most promising talent that we got so far in Summer League. I mean, Daquan Jeffries is also good, but obviously with the depth at guard, for him to even be thinking of future here on the Knicks, that's pretty hard to see. But at least with Jalen Martin, he's got the two-way contract. He'll be in Westchester. He can develop his game a little bit more. This is it. We're starting to see the spectrum of the overtime elite talent, right? You got the Thompson twins, and then you get Jalen Martin, who was the next guy after those guys being touted as prospects, and you see the varying talent. So he's going to need some more time to develop. As you pointed out, yes, the way he attacks the basket can be very aggressive. I like how he plays on defense. There were some calls in game one that we saw where he should not have been called for fouls when he's playing defense, man. Yeah. I think that is something that if you're someone like Tom Thibodeau, you can be like, okay, guard, plays aggressive on the perimeter, is pretty agile laterally. You can look at that and be excited about that. Jumper, though. The jumper needs to come around. Yeah. That's really going to be the emphasis if he's going to go from a G League player to even thinking about playing in the NBA, whether it be the Knicks or anywhere else, right?
Yeah.
That's something that he really needs to work on.
Yeah, I agree with you on that 100%. And when we had our guy, Corey Tulaba of the Hart of the No Ceilings podcast, shout out to Corey. We also saw him at Summer League. That was one of his keys of improvement, areas of improvement for Jalen Martin was to work on his shot. It was very inconsistent at the overtime. I think he shot low 30s from three. Wasn't anything good in particular. I think they did say he did pick it up as the season progressed and closed out. He had some moments there in the playoffs, but overall just needs to work on his jumper. But that will certainly come as long as the rest of the tools are there. Charlie Brown has been the best player on the Summer League so far. Charlie Brown, man, Charlie Brown Jr. He's a gamer. He attacks the basket. His jumper, he's got a little jumper there. I like George. I like his game, man. Attacks the basket. He's kind of fluid out there. Maybe he gets a little spot at Westchester.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, he had the assist that led to the initial what would have been the game-winning shot. Yeah. Right. Then you have Anthony Black get the tip in and force overtime against the Magic. Yeah. I mean the Knicks. Yeah. Pause. I get it. Yeah. I get it.
I was just you're treading down flagrant 3 territories. I just wanted to just make sure you're aware. Okay.
Look, man, it's Summer League.
Yeah, Summer League. We're not even in preseason yet. So yeah, go ahead.
Technically, yes, that is what happened in the game.
Gotcha.
But I get it. I get it for the fans out there.
Yes.
I get it.
Okay.
But yes, Look, man.
Yeah.
But at least Jalen Martin got the game-winning shot.
Yes. Yeah, he did get that opportunity. So great job by him for sure. Who else? Roby, the Roby watch. We continue to watch and see what he does as he tries to reclaim his NBA career. We'll see what happens, but I'm just not really impressed with his game at this moment. His play's very slow. Hasn't been able to hit much shots. I don't really see much with him. But I could be wrong. But like I said, in terms of where the Knicks go in the backup 4 spot, even if he makes the team, he won't be getting minutes. He's not getting minutes. Keel's another one. Forget it. He's Westchester bound, or that's it.
Is he even on the two? Is he still on the 2-way?
Well, Jalen Martin has one 2-way. The original plan was for Jacob Toppin to get the other one, but then it was announced yesterday by our guy Keith Smith that it's just a non-guaranteed training camp invite. So I think they're keeping that slot flexible just in case, just in case. So maybe Toppin does end up getting it, but for now, it hasn't. It's been announced that it's a non-guaranteed training camp invite. So right now, the only one on the 2-way is Jalen Martin.
So what I'm looking here for 2023-2024 2-way, we got Jalen Martin. Then the 2023-2024 cap holds are Trevor Keels and Dwayne Washington on 2-way contract. So yeah, it looks like just Jalen Martin is the only one. And I think, if I have to, I'm giving it to Daquan Jeffries. So I'm giving another two-way contract out. Break glass in case of emergency.
Yep.
If there's anything happening at the guard position, I think he's shown that he's got enough tenacity when it comes to being that guy. I mean, he showed it in game 1. I would just go in that direction. With Keels, not impressed with what I've seen so far. For a guy who now has an off season, I don't think his conditioning is there when we watch him play. And it's just that is alarming. For a guy who got drafted in the 2nd round, came out of Duke, looking to have a career in the NBA, you would think you take these opportunities seriously, especially in summer league. I mean, I don't know about you. I was watching the Miami Heat against the Boston Celtics on Saturday before that Knicks Philly game. And I saw Orlando Robinson drop 30+ points on the Miami Heat. And I'm like, yo, that's a guy who wants it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a guy who wants to show that he wants to make it to the league. You would think you see that type of tenacity from Trevor Keels this will be his 2nd year. So not really thrilled with how he's performed throughout summer league so far.
Yeah, I mean, over the last, since he's been here, I haven't seen any semblance of an offensive game from him. And you're just not going to be able to get playing time anywhere if you can't put the ball in the bucket. That's just where the league is right now. That's why Deuce McBride has trouble finding consistent minutes. So for Keels, he's going to have to work it out of Westchester or somewhere else. But he has no future with the Knicks right now, just based on where they are. But overall, good for them. They get a win. QJ Patterson was pretty big in this game as well at the point guard spot. Knocked down a couple of big shots in the 4th quarter and overtime. So good job by him. But overall, it was Charlie Brown and Jalen Martin who were the stars of today's game. Charlie Brown, 19 points, 8 of 15 from the field, 3 of 7 from downtown, 6 boards. I like his game, 4 block shots. We got to see him in person for those 2 games. I like his game. Peterson, 16 points off the bench, 6 of 19 from the field, 2 of 9 from downtown, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. And then Jalen Martin, who put in the game winner, 12 points, 4 of 7 from the field, 1 of 2 from downtown, 3 dimes, a steal, and 2 block shots. Shout out to the Rhyme Animal, Chuck D. The Rhyme Animal is back with us in action, man. Salute to Chuck. $20 super chat. Says, salute Knicks Nation, KFTV. Have a safe summer. Hectic Hip Hop 50. Enjoy the time. And the good old days are right now. Absolutely, man. Already knew, without knowing Chuck's schedule, already knew he's being tied up with Hip Hop 50 stuff. If he's not in the Mosh chat, ladies and gentlemen, he's doing super, super important things, man. This is a legend of our time and a big, big milestone for our culture. So obviously we know Chuck is in the mix. So shout out to the Rhyme Animal, Chuck D. But we always know that when he does have time to tap in, that he is here rocking with us. Speaking of hip hop, I chopped it up with Fat Joe at Summer League, Al.
There you go.
Yeah, Joe Crack.
You talking about me being Mr. Vegas. Look at you. Just rubbing shoulders with Fat Joe. Chris Haynes.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he was at the Wemby game. He was at the second Wemby game. I was there. So yeah, I did hit Joe. I said, I'm going to come down, chop it up a little bit at halftime. He said, all right, no doubt. So came down, chopped it up with him a little bit. He was a little tight about the Obi trade. He was a little tight about the Obi trade. I had to kind of talk him off the ledge a little bit. I said, it's all right, Joe, we'll be okay. But, yeah, so shout out to Joe Crack. Got a chance to chop it up for a little bit. But yeah, he was a little tight about the Obi trade. Yeah.
Understandable, man. Yeah. Understandable. But hey, wish things could have gone different.
Yeah.
As I told Obi, but bigger and better opportunities, hopefully, for him out in Indiana. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely, man.
Hey,
yeah.
I like the CP hat you got going on right now.
Oh yeah, appreciate it, man. Shout out to Gamba, threw the design together and had it printed, man. Shout out to my guy Roy, the printer who prints our KFTV hats, t-shirts rather, t-shirts. Printed up a couple of these for me, man. So I took it out to Summer League. Switch it up a little bit. So shout out to the design and print team for sure. Speaking of Obi, he did meet with the media during Summer League, and he broke his silence about his time with the New York Knicks. Let's hear what Obi had to say here. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. CP and Alex on the ones and twos on this Summer League postgame live. Here is Obi. Let's hear what he had to say here. Might have to refresh this page. Here we go.
Start out here in Indiana.
Hang on. Let me refresh so we got a fresh start from Obi here.
Had a great time with the Knicks. Obviously, it's been a dream to have the opportunity to play at MSG and obviously put that Knicks jersey on. But it was great players there, great coaches. Everybody was amazing there. But definitely super excited to have this new journey and start out here in Indiana. So, yeah, super excited for that.
All right. Well, that was Obi. Hey, listen, he kept it a buck. He also said that he was frustrated about the lack of playing time, and that was known. That wasn't any secret. You could see it. Stevie Wonder could see it. That he was going to come to a head. It's going to come to a head. You got to make a decision one way or the other. They chose Julius, rightfully so. He's your two-time All-Star. He's your guy. He's your dog. You got to go with it. They re-signed Julius to the deal. At the same time, they brought Obi in. That was just going to be the effect of keeping Julius. It was that one of them was going to have to go. They decided to keep Julius, so Obi wanted a trade. He wants to go somewhere else to get a chance to play. And I'm very interested to see how he plays with the Pacers, man. They run his style of game. An up-tempo style game. You have a elite facilitating point guard in Halliburton. You got a lot of, Nebhard playing, a lot of young talent. Jarris Walker out there. He's got some passing ability. The Pacer team is going to be very interesting, man. I want to see how Obi plays in this high-octane Pacer offense. Could see some things. Could definitely see some things, man.
Yeah, I mean, you heard Halliburton on the PG podcast, right? And he said he was excited for Obi. They've known each other for quite some time now. He likes playing that. They both like to play fast. It's that up-tempo speed. I think what I'm interested to see how they utilize Obi on that team is, are they going to allow him to be a passer, to push the pace, do all those things? Because that was the stuff that he was known for coming out of college, right? Being the roll man in the pick and roll. We'll see how Indiana utilizes him. I look at that team. I just say, hey, there's a lot of versatility they got over there. You can run Jarris Walker and Obi Toppin. You see Jarris Walker's physicality. You could even have him at small ball 5. It's just up to Rick Carlisle to see, and the rest of the team to see how it all plays out. But this will finally be a chance for Obi, and we'll see. Can Obi finally get those minutes? This is, I feel like, what should be an open competition for the 4.
Open.
Jarris Walker's not guaranteed that spot, even though he was drafted, right? Nothing's guaranteed in this league.
Yeah.
Look, Obi was drafted 8. Randall decided to show up. Can Obi do the same thing out in Indiana? That'll be the question at this point. So I'm intrigued, man. And I'll say this. I'm as a Knicks fan, I'm it's not just because of Obi. I'm very curious I'm a little nervous about Indiana because let's remember before Halliburton went down when they faced the Knicks, right?
Mm-hmm.
That team was in competition for a playoff spot. I think they were 6 or 7 around that time. And that was without any of these new additions. So I'm curious to see where it all plays out once the season starts.
Sounds like you're scared.
Slate for everybody.
Sounds like you're scared.
No, I'm not scared. I'm just saying.
You're scared. Just go, you could say it. It's okay. It's just me, you, and 1,000 people in there.
You watch yourself over there.
Yeah,
okay?
man. Just let it out, man. It's safe space, bro.
Look, man. The only thing I'm afraid of is the boogeyman. And taxes.
yeah, rightfully so, man. Rightfully so. His Uncle Sam comes through, man. Yeah. So look, good luck to him. Good luck to Obi. Seems like he had a good time in Vegas as well. So yeah, good luck to him with the Pacers. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. If you guys want to call us up, man, the phone lines are up. 657-383-1509 or the KFTV Discord, man. Call us up. You want to chop it up. You want to talk about, what you're doing for the summer. You at summer camp or whatever it is, man. We're just keeping it low key, keeping it casual on tonight's show. Now, a couple other things here. Evan Fournier. Where in the world is Evan Fournier, or where in the world is Evan Fournier going to go? The question we've been waiting for 2 years now, okay? Now, according to, where's this part for Jake Fisher here? According to Jake Fisher, Yahoo Sports, he gives updates on the Dame trade, and let's see. Rival front offices continue to say New York remains engaged on trade avenues for veteran shooter Evan Fournier, and the Knicks are amenable to doing so as part of multi-team framework. So this is not really news. I think what Jake Fisher's doing here is he's kind of just speculating in terms of you have situations around the league, whether it's a Dame trade, a Harden trade, a Siakam trade, where if there needs to be multiple teams involved, maybe the Knicks are a player here in which they can trade Fournier and his contract to help facilitate things, get what they need. Maybe they get a second-round pick or something in 2035, and, they end up being happy with that. That's pretty much it.
2035.
Yeah.
Say second round pick.
Yeah, or third round. Maybe it's a third round pick or something.
We're going back to what was there a point where the NBA had like 3-5 rounds?
Yeah, right. They definitely had 3 at one point. I'm pretty sure
it was 3 rounds. I think they had 3 rounds at one point.
Yeah.
Not sure. That was before my time. I know that was your time, CP.
That was before my time as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, it only makes sense, man. He's not gonna get playing time here.
Yeah.
At this. I'm just curious how it all works out. I don't think the Knicks will completely dump him for scraps. I could see him being on this roster and them hoping by the trade deadline that somebody needs a shooter and they can trade him and get some sort of compensation in return. But I think that's a stretch at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's what they want to do. I don't think they're just going to do that right now, but who knows? They could shock anybody.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think at this point they got to take what they can get. They got to take what they can get. You're seeing more talented guys being dealt for less. It's going to come to a point. And Fournier wants to be out of here. He wants to go somewhere where he can play potentially. If that's the case, maybe it's a upstart rebuild, right? If he goes to a contender, that's he's playing as a break glass in case of emergency. Well, maybe it's the Spurs where he fills a Doug McBucket's role, and he could be the mentor for Wemby, the veteran mentor for the team. I think that makes the most sense. But as D. Brown said, Jake Fisher just filling out article space. That's all. We all know Fournier will not be on the roster. Yeah, that's what we said before the show. This is really news. He's really just throwing ish at the wall in terms of saying, hey, the Knicks have Fournier. They're trying to trade him. Maybe they get involved in one of these multi-team date frameworks to try to facilitate things.
Yeah. I just wonder if they just, at the end of the day, they could say, hey, we'd rather have him as our backup because this is the last year we got to pay him anyway. So why not? Why? I don't know what a deal for Fournier would even look like at this point. Like, he's an expiring contract. What are you getting in return? Like, I know we saw Obi go for 2 second-rounders. We saw KJ Martin go for 2 second-rounders.
Mm-hmm.
Was he getting you 1 second-rounder? Like, what's the money that's going to match that? I don't think the Knicks are going to take on a contract that is going for multiple years unless it's a player that someone really wants to get rid of. And they'd say, hey, we'll take your expiring salary for said player.
Right. So there that is, man. You guys be the judge. What do you guys think about the Fournier topic? You guys be the judge. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. If you guys are new in the chat, man, leave us a hashtag new, and we will shout you guys out. CP and Alex on the ones and twos. We had a great episode of the NBA report just a little while ago. We talked to Danny Meringue, the host of the Jax Ramsey's podcast, Portland Trailblazers podcast, went in depth on Dame. Probably the best conversation in the sphere, in the media sphere on Dame. It was very thorough, very thorough. Thought we got both sides of the argument, got it down, and it was very thorough. So if you missed it, definitely go over to the NBA report, tap in on it. Should be available in podcast format later this evening as well. Couple of rule changes, Al, in the NBA. Couple of rule changes that could impact the Knicks here. Number one is, hang tight. Number one here, I'm just trying to pull it up. The anti-flopping rule. Flops will result in a technical foul. Now, why I say it impacts us is because there has been accusations of people of our floor general Jalen Brunson. That not that he flops, that he embellishes a little bit. Now I call it master selling. He's a master salesman at getting his calls. A lot of times he's getting smacked around in the face. He's a smaller guy. He's D'ing up. He's playing aggressive. He's trying to draw offensive fouls. It's his way of playing defense. Sometimes he gets hit and he gets the call. I wonder if they'll turn the tables on him and call him for a tech. Will he get called for a flop there? Your thoughts on the anti-flop rule leading to a technical foul?
I hope not. This guy draws charges. He legitimately puts his body on the line to make sure he can draw the foul on the offense. So I hope not, but I think it will just be iffy, man, to see how they call this flopping rule, man. Like the level of detail and investigative work we're going to watch for whoever calls this, right? And say it is called, right? And now the new rule that you have, if you want to overturn that, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
There's some ones that are very obvious. Like when you watch a Chris Paul, Marcus Smart, you could just say, okay, that's a flop.
Kyle Lowry, he'll jump 5 feet into the stands on a hip check. That guy. Yeah. That's going to change the whole game. He might as well retire right now.
The league's cooked for him.
Yeah. I don't
know, man. I just don't know how you're going to be able to call it. It's such a, even watching that in slow motion, sometimes it looks more of a foul than it is. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be something so tricky to call.
I think it's as tricky as the take foul was. You notice in the playoffs, they didn't call many of them. I don't think if at all. You didn't see them anymore. All of a sudden, there were no more take fouls, right? It's going to be very difficult. And how do you police? Because there's flopping and there's embellishments, All right, we said this on the NBA report. There's flopping and embellishments. There's the guys that are just completely acting and wilding out. Okay, that deserves. But is an embellishment wrong if you're trying to get the ref's attention and he's been missing the call constantly? You know, these guys are blind, man. Like, is that going to be called for a tech? Is that going to be called for a flop? How do you call the post up, a player backing down the defender in the post, and the defender falls back trying to draw offensive foul, or he pulls the chair back and falls? Is that a flop? Is that an offensive foul? Is that a defensive foul? Like, you know, is it just going to be when that post player is, you know, using his elbow, using his off arm aggressively? Is that the only way you call an offensive foul? It's going to be very hard to police that. It's going to be very hard to police that.
It's going to be difficult, man.
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan of that rule change. I think it's easier for the take fouls. I think for drawing, I think for flopping, the refs just have to be better at just allowing the league to be a little bit more aggressive. You know what I mean? Like, more physicality. That's what they just have to embrace, instead of just saying, oh, that's a flop. That's a foul. That's a foul. That's a foul. Because in some games, depending on who's calling the game, there are way too many fouls, man. It ruins the entire flow of the game. It's very choppy, living at the free throw line. I'm not watching basketball to see everyone live at the free throw line. I'm trying to see some good, fluid basketball play, good defense, good offense. It's going to be tricky, man. Really, the way to curtail this was not the rule change. It was more so of telling refs, hey, let's allow a more physical game.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, going to be interesting to see, man, because it's already, calling an offensive foul is already difficult. So, well, let's see how that works. Now, the second one I agree with, should have been in place, is that coaches will be given a second challenge if the first is successful, if they have timeouts left. Now, despite the fact that I hate the replays, I think they are entirely way too long. And sometimes when they come in at pivotal points of the game, you ruin the whole flow, the whole rhythm of the game. I think you run the risk of that. But if you do get a call right, showing that the ref was a bonehead or completely missed it, you should be rewarded with another one. You know, I liked it with football, and if you're going to do the replays in basketball, you should be able to get at least another one.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, you know, like in the NFL, you don't you don't lose a timeout in the NBA, but I do agree with the fact that if you win one, you should get another one, and leave it at that. I think it makes sense. The question is, will they allow someone like Pat Beverly to take the camera and show the ref saying, hey, this is a foul? That's the bigger question, I guess.
Yeah. I highly doubt it, man. I highly doubt it. And what Pat Beverly said? Pat Beverly said James Harden was a big reason why he signed with Philadelphia. Sure. Yeah, we believe it, Pat. We believe it. We believe you, buddy, man. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Let me salute the super chats that are in here. Who else we got in there? Oh, just a Rhyme Animal. Shoot the little Rhyme Animal, Chuck D, man. So it's Chuck. We definitely appreciate you. A couple of rule changes as we just announced. And Josh Hart, Al. Josh Hart. So he opts into the deal, right, at 12.6, 12.9 million. That was a player option. You figured that he was. Once they extended the deadline, you knew there was a reason for that. Knicks were trying to work in the opt-in, probably try to figure out the cap ramifications, wait till the official CBA comes out, study the numbers, and figure it out. They end up extending the deadline for him to opt in. He opts in, which means that this season, he's going to be making that 12.9. So he's going to be getting underpaid compared to his peers. That allowed the Knicks to set up the DiVincenzo pickup. What I thought from that point, because the speculation was that if he had opted out and redid the deal this year, he would have gotten, say, around like 16, 17. Right? Not confirmed, but that's what a lot of the people have put out there. But for him to now give the Knicks a deal here, help them out, sacrificing to bring DiVincenzo in here, I'm under the impression that they're going to take care of him. And he's going to get closer to 20 come the renegotiation time. And it just so happened that on the NBA report, when we spoke to our guy, Danny Meringue of the Jack Ramsey's podcast, covers the Portland Trailblazers, covered Josh Hart, he too felt and heard that it's an unkept secret here that Josh Hart is going to be getting close to 20 bags when the smoke clears. So, very interesting, man. Very interesting. Your thoughts on that?
I mean, look, they traded a first rounder for him. You're going to want to extend him. You don't want to just trade an asset and not have anyone replace him, right? So that's that point. The next one is this is a guy that Tibb likes, right? Even if you're not Tom Thibodeau, this is just he's a really good role player that any team would want. That's why he's been traded so often, not for the fact that nobody wants him and he's just a good filler for a trade. It's the fact that New Orleans, Portland, they're all like, okay, this is somebody that we can utilize because what he gives us is all the gritty work that somebody else probably won't do on the team, right? His hustle, his rebounding, his ability to attack and transition. So it only makes sense that he is going to get paid. On top of that, he's boys with Brunson. He's boys with DiVincenzo. These guys are now here for a good amount of time, right? Now you look at the deal that DiVincenzo got. You think that quickly he's going to be due for an extension. He's due for an extension right now. He could get an extension, but it's no guarantee that he'll be on the team this season or even the next season, man. Right? There could be another deal looming, although I'd probably expect the Knicks to do an in-season trade rather than one to begin the season, unless there's something that they can't pass up. But let's just say, you have this, you already have this gluttony of guards, right? Maybe Quickly's not going to be around much longer. Maybe Grimes is not going to be around much longer. Not saying I want it to happen. I'm just saying if you just look at from how this team is constructed right now with all the guards, there's not enough playing time for everybody. They're going to be playing small this year, I think, just to accommodate. But I think moving forward, they're going to I think this team is going to move in the direction of getting more, wingspan on this team, more height, right? To be more versatile. So you sign someone like DiVincenzo, you have Jalen Brunson, boys with Josh Hart. You think that you move someone like Quickly and Grimes out of the way, right? If you're this team, and you can extend Josh Hart, and there's the money, right? There's the money that you're talking about to say, hey, we can give this guy 20 bags annually for the next upcoming years because we don't have these guys anymore. We're able to move them. Maybe you get some rookies in here after you trade them, get some draft picks, rookie scale contracts. That's how I see it as with Josh Hart right now. I think that's their thinking with him.
Somebody's getting traded, man.
It's going to happen, man.
Somebody's getting traded.
Who do you think it is?
I don't know, man. I just have a feeling it's Quick. I
have a feeling it's Quickly too, man.
I have a feeling Quick's gonna get dealt, man. I have a feeling. I don't know. I don't know anything. It's just you got RJ already making 20 plus. Julius, Jalen, Hart's gonna be close to that. DiVincenzo's in here now. Now he's around like 11, 12-ish. You got Mitch. What's Mitch at, around 10, 11?
Yeah.
Mitch is around 10, 11. Yeah, you're gonna put Quickly at 22? You're gonna have two guys coming off your bench making damn near 20 mil? Then you got to think about Grimes, right? Grimes is gonna be coming up soon.
Yep. The DiVincenzo move, in my eyes, I look at Quickly. The way a little bit of playmaking, some shooting, right? They kind of seem, I'm not saying they are, they kind of seem redundant in what you want both players to do. Although I think to start the season, you're going to see both of them in that second unit backcourt.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see Quickly playing like how he did with Derrick Rose, but I just feel like this is a move getting ready for a man Quickly. Because look, man, he already said that he wants to be a starter in this league.
Yeah.
All right, unless Tibbs is putting Grimes on the bench or something's happening to Grimes, I don't see Tibbs having a small backcourt as a starting unit, right? So that means to me, like if Quick wants to be a starter and you got Jalen Brunson, I don't see Tibbs wanting to play small. I don't know how many other teams that play small around the league either with two guards. I just think that if he's going to want a starting opportunity and to be a league guard, which in today's league, you don't need to be that traditional point guard to be that great facilitator. You could just be a scorer with some facilitating. I feel like it's just screaming for Quickly to be traded at some point.
In this order, I would say IQ, RJ for the money and potential, and Grimes. 1, 2, 3. That's
as long as Tibbs here, I don't feel like Grimes is ever getting traded.
It's about. For the right player, I think he could. For the right player, I think he could.
I don't know, man. I think he loves Grimes way too much.
Yeah, well, listen, man. The Nova connection's here. They locked in.
Who would have thought, man? We had the CAA Kentucky thing. Now it's the
CAA Nova thing. It's the CAA Nova thing, man. So, man, this is gonna be fascinating. But as I've said with the DiVincenzo pickup, it's just you got to stockpile talent right now in any way that you can, and then you move after that. Doesn't mean that the trade is imminent. It just means that you take a look at the Mitchell trade last year, and however you want to look at it, whether it's the New York tax or, they were scared to give up everything and not have much left. This is why you pick up a guy like a DiVincenzo.
Yes.
This is why you do that, to try to hedge on the potential of losing a lot for a big deal. But when you look at all the guys that have to be paid and the fact that the Knicks are creeping up on the cap, on the tax line, you're not going to want to invest all of your money in a team whose ceiling is capped. So for the people that say, well, stay the course and just keep building and pay all these guys and bring them back. I've been saying this for years. You see what happened with Obi. Everybody is not coming along for the ride. It's just not going to work that way. Everybody's not going to come along for the ride. Some may be here for a little bit. Some might be here for a long time. But everybody's not going to be here for the ride. So we just have to wait and see what happens, man. Have to wait and see what happens.
Yep.
Who else we got? Ryan Admiral Chuck D. $10 super chat says Josh Hart is getting the starts. LJ Allen Houston post-Knick deal with that move. 2 refs already overwhelmed with NBA speed. Number 3, let Fournier go. It was torture for his career. We hope Julius stays hungry. Yeah, it's time for for Fournier to go. Definitely time for Fournier to go, man. So
after coming on the show.
Yeah, he did. He came on, man. He came on the show. And they tightened up on him after that. But one slipped through the cracks. He got here. Things got tighter ever since. But this is salute to him. He's a stand-up guy. He's a stand-up guy. We appreciate his. He kept it real, man. That's why I rock with Fournier. Whatever. He doesn't play defense, but I could talk hoops with him all day because he keeps it 1,000. You know what I mean? He's not afraid to say what he feels.
100%. I think he gives some of the most insightful interviews, which is probably a reason why we didn't see him anymore. They're like, all right, man, stop talking about how this offense can be ran. All right.
Right.
We're trying to get rid of Kemba Walker at this point. Stop it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there it is, man. So that's the story there. Fournier on his way out of there, man. It was real while it lasted. Yeah, good time in Vegas. Vegas was great. And yeah, man, we're going to be looking forward to more off-season content. Got to get into our player reviews. What else? NBA Report is rocking. Looking good over here, man. Looking good out. Looking forward to some more off-season content, man. So just keep it locked so everybody in the chat. What's that? Yeah, it's about to be August soon, man.
Before you know it,
yeah,
September and it's already starting.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, we'll see what happens there, man. You know, it's funny, man. You were talking about Vegas. I was calling you out on your theatrics over the weekend. You know, you had yourself a time. You had yourself a time.
You were blowing up my spot, man.
Yeah. You know, now, a lot of fans, as you know, like to associate me with a particular player agency of a 3-letter word. You know, we won't say any names, but there's conspiracy theories about my affiliations with such group. Now, I won't confirm or deny such a report, or such allegations, rather. But I will say, they did host a party on Sunday, and I was personally invited.
Oh,
along with the Knicks chick. We were personally invited. I won't say who, but we were personally invited. Now, I respectfully declined the invitation. I said, you know, it's just a little too, you know, it's a little too close. A little too close. A little too close. I got to keep my integrity. You know, you did see the picture. You saw Hart and Obi and Halliburton and Spider together.
Yep.
You know, if I was there, I probably would have been in the background. But I declined. I declined. I said, I appreciate the invitation. Respectfully, no thank you. Yeah.
I totally understand.
Yeah.
Totally understand.
Yeah.
Totally understand.
That's it.
But don't worry, man. That's why we're creating our own thing over here, right?
That's right. That's right.
By the way, I was hanging out. I was like Worldwide West, and you could be the Leon Rose for all I know.
Yeah. That's it. Personally, I said, you know what, I appreciate it. I got to get back to the Big Apple, man. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah,
You sure you didn't? You're telling me that you didn't have one split second where you're like, hey, Miss KFTV, let's hold off this flight because I need to make a deal. I need to get some inside information.
A little bit.
I need to get some access.
A little bit. Contacted, say, hey, listen, man, this would be great for you. You should come and, you know.
Hey, Josh Hart, hey, man, you get brunch over here. We can have a good conversation, a good sit down.
Yeah.
You know?
So, yeah, that's it. True story.
And you know how CIA likes to roll. Like, everyone makes the whole Sopranos analogy. You can be like, oh, we got the gabagoo, you know? We got the gabagoo over here.
I'm sure the spread was nice. Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah. But I had to, you know, dial it back a little bit. I said, this was a productive trip. I would love to come and mix and mingle with those people, but you know, I'm just call it quits.
I hear you. I get you. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But one day we'll find out who the agent is that's inviting you to all these parties. One day.
Maybe.
And you respectfully declining every single time.
Respectfully decline the invitation. Yeah. So anyway, man, great show. On the NBA Report on Friday, special edition of the NBA Report, Showtime Basketball is releasing a documentary, a 3-part documentary on the late great Wilt Chamberlain. I'll be interviewing the directors of that documentary, man, and we'll have that slated to drop on Friday. So make sure you tap in on the NBA Report, special edition of the NBA Report, as I interview the directors of Goliath, the Wilt Chamberlain documentary, slated to come out on Showtime starting this Friday. So look out for that. And yeah, man, great show. Doubleheader Al, great show. We out of here, man. Salute.